Alright, so getting slope from a graph, you need to make sure you have a straight line. If you don't have a straight line, you can't find slope because it only applies to linear functions. And the first thing you gotta do is find two pretty points. And pretty points are going to be points that fall on a coordinate. So for example, we have one here, we got one here, we got one here, here, we got one down there, one right here. So you got to figure out which ones fall on nice numbers. So if I'm looking at my scale, this is a 1 and this is a -1. So that's going to take that one out of there. This one would work. And you could pick any two. So I'm going to pick one right here, and I'm going to pick the one right here. Doesn't matter, I could pick any other 2 points as long as they're on the line. So once you have your two pretty points, what you got to do is figure out the rise and the run, because we know that slope is the change in y divided by the change in x. So we got to get the rise and we got to get the run. And remember that rise, it can go up or down, and run always goes to the right. You don't listen to Beyonce for this one. So start at the leftmost point and go up or down depending on where the next point is. So I'm clearly going up here, so I go up 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. You don't have to always make this, you can just count it, but I personally like to write it out. So this was plus or up 4. So my rise is 4, so if m is rise over run, I have 4 over, and then I'm going to run to my right 1 unit, 2 units. So that was plus 2. So then my run is 2. So my slope is going to be 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So m is 2. If I wanted to write the whole equation from this problem, I need to find the y-intercept, or my b, and that's always going to go along this y-axis, whatever point the line crosses. So you can see clearly there, it is at +1. So if I want to write the equation for this line, it would be y equals 2x plus 1. For this next one, you should pause it and try it on your own. We have pretty points here. We have a pretty point here. We have a pretty point here. Pick any two. I noticed that this line is going down from left to right, so it's going down, not like in your DMs. So we'll pick this point and this point. I go down first, so my rise will be negative, and it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. So -3 for my rise, and over just 1 for my run, so +1. So if I'm writing slope, it's m equals rise over run. It'd be -3 divided by 1, or just -3. To write the equation, I'll find the y-intercept. It's right there. It crosses at 3, intersects at 3, so the y-intercept is 3. So my equation would be y equals -3x plus 3. Looks like this line will have a positive slope. I need to identify my pretty points. This one's a little trickier. Got one there. That's not exactly where I want it to be, so I'm going to skip that one. Got one here. So positive slope means I'm going to go up first. So up 1 unit, up 2 units, up 3 units. So my rise is a +3. And then my run, over 1 unit, over 2 units, +2. So m equals 3 divided by 2. I want to find out what my y-intercept is so I can write the equation. And it's right there. It's in between -2 and this would be -1. So this looks like this is going in increments of 1/2. So it looks like it's -1.5 or -3/2. So my equation would be y equals 3 over 2x minus 1.5. I can't tell if this is positive or negative. It's a zero slope. Zero slope is You just like roll out of bed. You're not rising up. So again, you pick 2 pretty points just to kind of prove what we're doing here. I'm not going up at all. So my M is going to be 0 divided by my run would be 2 if I pick those 2 points. There is no rise. We're not increasing or decreasing, so this slope would always be 0. So you get the 0 slope. You do see the y-intercept is 2, so the equation would be 0x plus 2, which reduces to just y equals 2. That's the equation. You got any questions, let me know.